happens to be a vast majority of us are in different places, so it is different times and different energies. And we've clearly had a long night. There was a lot that happened, but one thing that didn't happen was any goddamn tarot readings, okay? So, before I call it quits for the evening, I feel like I'm in a happy space. Like, I was, I streamed for 5 hours, and we really talked the whole time. I had a deck out in the beginning, but I ended up not reading with it. Like, I just didn't want anything to do with it, honestly. I don't even know why, other than my own cycle, whatever. We talked about that extensively. Dealt with some issues that arose, if you will. Had some really great discussions. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I love having nights where we just talk. But if you tune into my channel because you want tarot readings, I do want to respect that, and I just want to pull some cards before I call it quits for the evening. I am pretty much ready to go to bed. My partner was going to work, so I took a little bit of a long break. It was like I had a handful of people around. Took a little bit too long of a break, but honestly, that was the first time I went to the bathroom and had a kiss, my whole stream, just 5 hours. So I ain't mad about it. But I also didn't want to put the cards at the end of a 5-hour stream, so I figured, whatever, I'll just come back. And if anybody rewatches either of the videos, it definitely should be this one. So I didn't use any damn cards in the other one. So I had the mystery deck out earlier, and I'm realizing that part of the reason I couldn't do that deck is because I'm having very personal feelings towards the narrative that we've been running with the mystery deck, where I don't want to know anymore. And so instead of having a shitty attitude about a reading I was reluctant to give, I skipped it altogether, right? And then this deck was requested at one point, and that's why I'm honoring it right now, because I just want to leave off on a positive note with some quick messages of aspirations. I was going to say inspirations and affirmations, but I said aspirations instead. Same idea, really, right? So I'm just pulling a few of these before I go to sleep. That's all. I actually did enjoy my evening. It got tough at points, but it was very helpful to have been able to talk more freely than I normally would. And today is an exceptionally good day. I am realizing that some of the challenges we face not only are by design, but with our best interest in mind. And I think that in the moment you hate the idea, I know I do, where it's like, how could anybody want this for me, or how could anybody think this was okay? But in reality, we sign to our life and the way it'll play out before we live it, right? This feels like a good little set of cards. I kind of do want to get really deep. I feel like the channel messages are coming in. Sometimes, okay, don't get me wrong, I hate talking to myself on here. But since I'm doing a short, quick tarot reading, I feel like people watch the replay, so I don't mind that there's no views. And I want to wrap it up anyway, so I know that I'm not starting my night at 0. I'm ending my night at 0, and I'm okay with that. Just decrease over time so that I actually will get off of the channel. But it's funny, because it's almost like when no one's watching, I can be even more authentic, even though I do feel like I'm giving it my all in any moment. But all night I was unable to tap in and channel, and it's probably because people were rubbing me the wrong way in the sense that, yeah, the PMDD is affecting me this week, but I know how to cope. Part of how to cope is to get space from people. So if I come on here and I'm trying to do my work anyway, I'm trying to work despite my PMDD, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be moments, and, but now that I feel I've moved past that for the time being, I'm seeing this really beautiful little lineup here. This card off to the side is face down, and it's the only one face down, and I have a very symmetrical thing going on where I've got a clump of 4 and 1 on each side. And it's really beautiful because the center and upmost card is Miracle, which is blank, but we'll get there. So then this one off to the side. So I'm just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, the bottom of the deck, we have universal healing, okay? And part of the reason that I'm being transparent about my life is because I am searching for healing because of the wonderful things it does. I am on a path of healing. I am in search of my healing. I am in search of a cure or a treatment for the things that I deal with. And it's a long and winding, endless road with very little hope. And so, my hope or thoughts is that if I share these things out loud, if I integrate these things into my reality, then perhaps what will be sent back to me is a more positive outcome than the current reality in which I do not participate in this. And so tonight was definitely a practice of me talking more and being able to put myself out there, not relying on the cards to hide behind or to be the subject, but to just stay in the light and say, hey, I've got things to say. I've got things on my mind. I've got things to share from my own personal experience rather than what I hear, right? And that's on healing. That's because I am ready to be done, you know? I'm kind of sick of people saying you can cure your blah 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 with positive fucking thinking. Bitch, the whole problem with this disability is the fact that temporarily there is no positive thinking. Like, stop trying to tell me I can think my way out of this. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? That's like telling someone who has anxiety to think their way out of it. I'm sorry, the whole problem is overthinking. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm so sick of the empty advice. Truly. Hurts my soul to be told things that, like, clearly I do on a regular basis. Stop trying to minimize people's sickness, you know? Yes, I believe that you speak your own reality, and yes, I believe we are all master creators of our own universe, but for fuck's sake, stop telling people who are sick that they can get better, because if they don't, what? It's just on them. It's not a disease they caught. It's not something that raided their body. It's not God's divine plan, right? Don't be a hypocrite, and don't pressure people into fucking curing themselves when it's a crock of shit. You had healthier genetic options. Congratulations for you, right? I don't fuck with that shit, man. Universal harmony. Some people are healthy, some people are sick, and that sounds fucked up, especially because what we're talking about, it's actually one of the latest conversations in my stream. But trying to wash away people's pain or their realities or their predicaments with just think your way out of it is so beyond ignorant and so beyond frustrating. And I think that is a crucial but sidebarred message for the evening. Universal abundance. The sooner you accept these things, right, the sooner that you will, I don't want to say benefit from them or create them, but accepting that, sure, maybe I will be sick, but perhaps even in my sickness, I will be happy rather than healthy. And then all of a sudden your happiness leads you to health, right? It's not about fuck being sick. I'm not sick anymore. And then you're still sick and you're like, well, why am I sick? Man, if only, right? It's just never that simple. And of course, on the outside, you can look in and say it would be so much easier if you did this, 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 and this. And it's like, did you not see the 600,000 times I already did that? Okay, then. Maybe let's come up with something new. Or you can ask first. Have you tried? Have you done? Have you been? Don't just assume that your advice trumps what somebody's already doing or that they haven't already gotten that advice and done it before. In fact, if you feel the need to say it to them, perhaps you need to hear it yourself. I know I'm not above the things I say either. I never claim to be. In fact, I say sometimes when no one is watching or speaking or whatever, it's for me. And of course I can do this privately if it's just for me. But what would be the fun in that? Because sharing can maybe help or would apply to someone else as well. And me being able to discuss what I'm going through makes it easier for you to accept that I can discuss what you're going through, isn't it? Universal abundance. You gotta move with it. You gotta flow, not just with the flow, but with the movements. I don't know how to explain. It's like coordinating. It's like synchronized swimming, synchronized dancing. It's not just you going with the flow. The flow is everyone's input on the general direction in which something is going, right? And there is the natural ebb and flow of things, but once again, people are just a part of creation, they're a part of nature, and they're a part of the flow. And so sometimes go with it, sometimes go against it, sometimes keep it moving, sometimes stop it from going at all, right? Interesting. I want to get back concentrated because if I start rambling, I'll be on here another 5 hours. So let me just and get focused. Right then. Quick message because I am getting off track. I can feel today's going to be a good day. Doesn't even matter what happens, it's going to be a good day. And that's why I decided last minute before I left to do some tarot draws because I suddenly felt like, hey, it's a good day and it's going to be good things that happen. And that's uncanny and a little off cycle for me. And that's how you know that I am working myself in overdrive fighting this thing. Stop telling me I'm not fighting hard enough because, bitch, you don't know how hard I fight, okay? Fuck. Initiation, though. That's what I'm seeing front and center. This is the deck of Cosmic Initiation, but to see the initiation card is what's tipping me off that today is actually going to be not just worthy and yes, maybe challenging, but today is going to be the moment that you step into your new reality. It's something that's been slow moving, it's been coming, it's been approaching. Um, the full moon is in a few days. We talked about that earlier on the stream. It's the 10th of September. So we're coming to close out a cycle, right? Which we do every month. That's like the whole point, even within the womb, right? Moon cycle, womb cycle. But this time, this is a much anticipated arrival of something that I can't even say too much because I don't want to apply to myself in a sense. But today's a good day. Embrace it. Today is a good day. Embrace it. The initiation has begun. This is only like the second or third time I think I've seen the actual initiation card in this deck. There's something very special going on. And it's been very hard to not just fathom that, but to accept that because we don't see it yet. And it's not that seeing is believing, but believing is receiving, right? But if you're not receiving, then you're not seeing the purpose of you believing. It's like, how long can we be strung along for? And they say, like, just when you're about to break, you bend back, snap back into the position you're meant to be in so that you can take on these new roles and such. Oh, man, I'm going to start channeling if I don't wrap this up. I can tell. It's what I wanted to do all night, but I wasn't in the mood, and I'm glad I didn't do it when I was in a bad mood. Because even this is getting a little feisty, I can tell. We also have Virgo. It's Virgo season. Sun's in Virgo. Moon's moving into Pisces. Double for mutable energy. Virgo is the hermit, looking within, being grounded, getting things prepared, being ready, um, paperwork in order. It's that type of day. And something I struggle with is largely in part due to this disability and the fact that it does eat half of my month every month, for most of the time, every other month, maybe, at least a few days where I'm very off kilter, and it might be like a few days here, a few days there, instead of a consistent week of days, whatever. It's hard. It's different every time. So it's very hard. Where I'll know what I need to do, but then I am limited on how much time I have to do it, and so I have to prioritize in a way that makes me happy, because I also know my happiness is in jeopardy, just as much as my time and energy. And I think there's been this whole, not a lesson, but a teaching where it's like you have to be ready to accept the life you want, and you have to be able to imagine it and have it and smell it, taste it, whatever. You got to have all your ducks in a row and in order to bring this in. And so I'd be like, oh, I got to do this, and this. I'll do it when the thing comes, when the time comes, when I need to cross that bridge. But this is more like, get to building it now. Why wait until somebody comes up and needs to cross it? Like, why not have that shit figured out now, done now, instead of when you need it? Right? Like replacing a passport. I'm not going anywhere, but maybe I should just do that because they last for 10 years. And what if I go somewhere 3 years from now? At least I'll already have my fucking passport instead of scrambling last minute to get one, right? Shit like that. Really bad? I can't even admit it on the internet, but like I like way more important shit than that, where I'm like, I just gotta replace it. Yeah, do it. Oh, but I don't need it right now. So what? You might need it eventually. Just get it out of the way, right? That is Virgo season energy. Is like, it's not even just tying off loose ends, but nailing everything on your to-do list and like actually going through the motions and getting it done. It's going to be very crucial. I would say do as much of that kind of thing as you can in the next 4 days. I don't know what's telling me that. It's the full moon energy, I think. Probably. Where it's like, yeah, we got to be ready for the next thing. If you still have unfinished business or unfinished projects or whatever, it's not that you can't continue to work on them after the full moon, but it's those little things that are holding back more than you think. If you just had it all done, calculated, fixed, handled, whatever, then the other things start showing up. New offers, new to-do lists, even. So let that Virgo energy inspire you to create what you want to see before we reap what we sow in Libra season. Okay, and then universal truth, all about speaking our truth lately. Like I said, I streamed for 5 hours and didn't read tarot cards. I was talking the whole time. And it was freeing. It really was freeing. Universal truth is telling your stories and not being concerned about who you looks bad. Because I do hold back on what I say because I consider, oh, well, I don't want to burn a bridge with this person. I don't know their side of the story. Well, you know what? They wouldn't think twice about saying it about you. So speak your truth. Say what you need to say. Give your opinion. Share that. But know that anyone is subjected to your perception, doesn't have to necessarily agree or disagree with you. They can like take it in, they can sit with it, they can move it. It doesn't matter. You have to know that putting yourself out there, putting your truth out there doesn't mean that it'll be heard or accepted. As much as it's for you to just get it off your chest. Okay? And miracle. There's just one thing that I'll be okay. I need a miracle every day. Hell yeah. Miracles. it just happens. So that's the focus this week. Get your chores done, get your paperwork done, and get your shit in order, get your shit organized. Do your spring cleaning and your fall clearing, right? Getting rid of some stuff, like finishing that resume or application or whatever it is, you know? It's all about the concrete back end book work this week. And I do feel that's a very personal reminder to me because I'm all about this work and like the reading or the performing, the recording. You know, of course, this is easy. It's like hard work. Of course, not everybody can do it, but for me, it comes easy to me. And I have a harder time sitting down and fucking calculating or staying focused on boring things, making calls and appointments, whatever. Hate all that shit. This I could do for hours. Seems obvious, but no, not everyone can talk for 5 hours straight to themselves. And yeah, I got people who respond in the chat, but like, I'm talking to myself for this duration, right? Not everyone can do that. We all have our strong suits and our weak suits. So, even furthermore, if you feel caught up on paperwork, if you feel you need a break from that kind of lifestyle, then I would say the opposite, where you need to work on things that aren't your strong suit in the same way that I'm admitting that these types of things are not my strong suit. So, if you feel like I've been on that tip, then either do it for the next 4 days before you call it quits and take a vacation, or in these next 4 days, recognize where you're lacking in other areas because you're overcompensating with the numbers or whatever. On either side of this, we had free spirit and threshold. So we have free spirit and threshold. Now, I'm not saying these are opposite energies, and I'm not saying that they really are in tandem either. But let's think of it this way, or something that I thought of right now to hear. The more you free your spirit, the closer you get to the threshold. How about that? The more you free your spirit, the closer you get to the threshold. So the more you let yourself go, the more you let yourself do rather than think, the more you decide to skip out on other people's opinions, the more that you step into your own calling, look, whatever, the closer you get to your breakthrough, the closer you get to that other side that you're trying to get to, the closer you get to your goals, the closer you get to your big break even, right? You get into that threshold. You just have to be willing to leap into the unknown and expect miracles, and it's very hard to do. I am someone who definitely expected, not even expected, but prayed for and believed in miracles for so long and got very few results, and I'd go right back to it and be just as positive and be like, fuck it, like I know it'll work out, it just always does. I don't even know where that hope was coming from. I legitimately, truly do not understand where I got all that hope from. But it sustained me for decades, just to think things might work out someday. They haven't yet, and that's okay. I'm going to be sitting here waiting for the day that they do. And I don't mind. I will love you through every moment, right? Because sometimes that's just all life is being there for a moment for someone else, right? Seems irrelevant, but you know what I'm saying. And sometimes that's what sets us free. Being bound to someone else is sometimes just what sets us free. So interesting. Feels a little left field, kind of random, but somebody was cracking up about it. Inner vision. Who are you? Why are you watching my stream at ungodly hours of the morning? Not saying a goddamn thing. Universal abundance. Somebody's looking good, whoever it is, right? You trying to pay me for a personal reading? Probably. You're like, how do I ask? Go to my website. I've shared the link to it many times in this chat tonight. Or you can email me, which you can find on my website. Sorry, driving traffic there, I guess. You'll figure it out. Universal healing again. And what is this last card? Big reveal. Don't know. Trinity. Trinity, working together. 3 is the magic number, right? That's what is so funny to me about monogamy, or this idea that partners should be limited to 1 and 2, or that the standard is husband and wife, because all things holy, they come in 3s. Why is the throuple not a more popular dating model? I will never understand. Because that is divinity. It's the Holy Trinity, right? Law of karma. Interesting that those would come up. But universal harmony, inner vision, and law of karma. One man's peace is another man's war. One man's war is another man's peace. That's all there is to it. You have to know that just because you had no ill intentions for anyone doesn't mean that things didn't go the way you intended, right? I think accountability is going to be a fucking subject this year. I can already tell. This year, this season, this spooky season, it's going to be all Halloween Oracle and accountability, Judgment Day. I'm getting these vibes of like, I don't want to say you will pay, but people will pay. That's why law of karma. This, I don't remember ever seeing it. Maybe one time. And I've been using these cards a lot since I started using them. Inner vision and law of karma keep being very close, but something in between. In this case, it's Leo. Don't let it get lost in translation. Don't have an inner vision and then you don't know how to execute it because it's not going the way that you see it in your mind. Listen, your mind's eye is much like any other, where it is a perception of what you see, not necessarily an execution of it. Even like we discussed earlier, can I predict the future? I can only predict it. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens. Nobody can do that. Everything is a variable. That's evolution. Grow the fuck up. Of course you can't control everything. That's the point. Golden rule, taking accountability for yourself, because that's what I was talking about when that card fell out. So, got universal forgiveness too. And what I always like to remind people is that universal forgiveness applies to you too. If you have to universally accept all apologies or learn to forgive without one, right? You have to understand that you are also worthy of that same forgiveness and that there may be people out there forgiving you before you even apologize. And have some confidence when you walk forward and confront someone in the sense of, hey, I see that I messed up and I now know why. I'm wondering if you could talk about that. Not a big deal, right? And if they can't, oh well, universal forgiveness. Forgive them for not being where you're at. Forgive yourself for being there too soon. Such a long, long time to be gone, and a short time to be there. That's the law of life. Feels like we've been here forever, and then when you get past it, it's like, what did I even do? What even happened? Last card of the evening, Scorpio. That's my rising. It's coming up. Scorpio season's going to be lit. And it's been saying that, but I was like, damn, man. I was really hoping my summer was going to be lit. I was really going to for Leo season, Virgo season, even Libra season to be lit. Hey, man, Scorpio season, it'll all make sense. And that's when you get the big payouts, I think. So, cool beings. Cool beings. All right, y'all. That's it. Raul just joined me. It's so late. I just did a few tarot readings. You can go back and watch this video. My last stream, the 5-hour-long one, wasn't no tarot. So before I went to sleep, I just wanted to touch base, pull a few cards. We did little diskies. The Cosmic Deck of Initiation, or the Deck of Cosmic Initiation. A little inspiration, words of affirmation, just things about life and love in general. Very universal, very spatial, very angelic even. So you can catch up on the chat. It's been a wild-ass evening. I think I am going to go, especially if everybody is so quiet this morning. I'm almost 6 hours in, so I should just go. I promised myself. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. It's been really fun. I don't mind talking at all. I know people come for the tarot, so if you ever need me on track and need a little reading, you just say that, okay? I'm going to try, in my duty of doing paperwork this week, I'm going to try to get some stuff figured out on my Twitch and be a little more descriptive about and on my channel so that people ask less questions, we have less interruptions, and I am less times repeating myself. So you will see major updates on here, on my website, in my real life. And I'm giving myself 4 days because I am like a diamond and I work best under pressure. So wish me luck. I might be back later today, tomorrow, whenever, whatever. Either way, I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you at the next one. Good night and good luck. ASMR. Oh my god, you're still here? I literally just said goodnight and then I played an ad, so I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna goof off. I'm gonna go though, for real. Just love that you're still here. It's late as fuck. I've been streaming for like 6 hours. Honestly, if things were a little bit livelier, I'd just be still in it. But so quiet. Did you miss the mandalas? Thank you. It didn't feel like a lovely stream, but people like you make it possible for me to stay sane through all of them. I did the mandala reading, so it's only a 30-minute video. Just watch it from the beginning. Really glad we could catch up before I go. I'm gonna go get this makeup off and take off this jewelry and just be comfortable. Be back in a bit. And just know today's great. And I love you. And yes, thank you. I will see you again soon. Ta-ta.